Hey guys, it's Bella and welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I have my February monthly plan with me. Apologies for the lighting in this video. I filmed this like at 6:30 at night pretty much. So I was using my artificial lights because obviously the sun had gone down by that point, but I just wanted to film that day and I kind of just waited all day, I think. So yeah, apologies for the lighting in this video, but yeah, I, as always, am using some foil from Planner Pixie Co. So this one was in lavender holo, and then I'm using the Like a Rose kit from Caress Press in the undated version with the decorative sidebar. So just flicking through everything that comes in the kit, and I always get these in premium matte, but Caress Press does also offer glossy if you prefer glossy stickers. So yeah, just again, flicking through the kit. I don't know, this was kind of a hot mess, honestly, because this was the first video, like actual planning video that I had filmed in probably a couple months because, yeah, I took a bit of a hiatus, unintentionally, shall we say. So yeah, and then for some reason, I don't know, I think I knocked my tripod at some point. So like the angle looked a bit wonky, and then I was like, oh, I don't know if this looks right, if this is zoomed in enough, and then also the lighting, and I don't know. I was just very like in my head while I was trying to set this up, and then I do mess up quite a bit during this spread because my pre-planner that I use is Monday to Sunday, whereas these monthly spreads are Sunday to Saturday. So I kept putting I kept putting Monday's plans in the Sunday spot instead of like the correct spot, because yeah, where it is on my pre-planner is like in the Sunday part because it's Monday to Sunday, but like my planner is Sunday to Saturday, if that makes sense. I don't know. But anyways, so yes, as always, I am doing this in sort of like a functional but also memory style. So like I do put in like bills and things like that, but I do also put in, you know, highlights of what I did during the days, or you know, like music releases, things like that. So you'll see me do that throughout this spread. So starting off, the first thing that I marked in was that my Baybox subscription billed on the 1st. So I used the credit card icon from the kit and one of the labels. And then I did also mark in pencil where I wanted like the decorative boxes to go. So in the kit there are 4 patterns and 2 like decorative boxes. So I did just try to spread them where I could and try to alternate like the colors and things as best as I could. And because I did put the dates down beforehand, I just cut out a little square so that you could still see the dates. And I do really like how that looks. I did that in my January spread, and I just think I'll probably stick with doing that moving forward because it's easy for me to like lay down the base, put all the numbers down, do all that, and then I can sort of work around that. So yeah. Yeah, here is where I like put something that's for Sunday, like in the Saturday spot, because yeah, again, probably because I was filming this late at night. Well, not late at night, but like later than what I normally film. And like I'd had a day, I went for a walk. I almost got run over by a cyclist on my walk. It was a moment. So like I was sort of like a little bit out of it. And then on top of that, my mum was sitting right next to me while I was filming, which is another thing that like throws me off. So I don't know, like I wasn't concentrating, and so I messed up. So these are technically Sunday's plans, but I put them in the Saturday spot, and then you'll see me move them in a moment because I turned my camera off and then turn it back on, and then yeah. But basically the Sunday, I guess I'll discuss it, but the Sunday was the day before my dad's birthday, so we went out for lunch and we went to the casino. So that was that. So those stickers were from Kylie Plans and Papershire. So here you'll see me, I get to like putting Monday's stuff down, and then I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't right. Like, because I looked at the dates and I was like, wait, why am I doing the 5th on the 4th, if that makes sense? So you'll see me like notice it in a second, and I turn my camera off. But the 5th was my dad's birthday, and then P1 Harmony had their comeback, which P1 Harmony is a K-pop group. So yes, I tend to mark down K-pop comebacks. It's just something that I am into, I guess, and I like tracking when my favorite like groups and soloists and whatnot release music. So yeah, those headphone stickers were from a sheet that I made to sort of go with this kit. Because last year I used journaling kits, and I used to make like little sampler sheets to go with my monthly spreads, and I just sort of just kept doing that because it was like I can add any icons that aren't in the kit or that I maybe don't have in my collection, And then also I can add in, you know, like holiday scripts and astrology stuff, things like that. So yeah, so there you go. You saw me like move that around. And then for the Saturday, which was the 3rd, I just marked in that we had a bit of a summer rainstorm. But yeah, we didn't have too many of those this summer. And we have yet to have like a proper rain at the moment that it's autumn, almost winter. So yeah, it's been strange, but maybe soon. So then I just marked in another like piece of deco for the 6th because I didn't do anything that day. And then the 7th I marked in payday. So I used the payday flag and then an icon from the sampler sheet that I made. Again, just so that I could have the same icon twice because I do normally have 2 paydays a month. And it just looks cohesive and it fits really well like layered on top of the flag, the payday flags. And then I marked in that I found my missing earbud because the Tuesday I had dropped my like earphone case on the floor, and I think I can't remember if they were cracked already at this point, but like the case was cracked already at this point. But one of my like earbuds fell on the floor and it was like tucked underneath something and I didn't even notice it. And then I went to bed that night, like tried to, I think it was like going to watch YouTube or something, and I couldn't find the right earbud and I was freaking out. Like it was a whole thing. And then the next day, like I even ordered like another pair, and then eventually I found the one that I was missing and then canceled the order, so it was fine. But it was just like one of those things where I was like, because I couldn't remember if I'd taken them out, like if maybe I'd lost them like on a walk or like when I went to the supermarket or something, and I was just like, oh my God, what did I do? But yeah, thankfully these were also like weren't expensive. They were like my $30 earbuds from Amazon because I only use my AirPods for work. So yeah. But that was that. So I thought that was something fun to mark down, I guess. Then on the 8th, I marked in my phone bill. I also had a waxing appointment and I went and got my nails done that day. So those were my Lunar New Year nails, and then yeah, waxing. So those icons were ones I made, and then the nail polish icon was from the kit. And then on the 8th, I marked in receiving some mail. So I just received an order from Adore Beauty, which is where I buy like my skincare stuff. So marked that in, and then I also marked in that Mum and I finished Mr. and Mrs. Smith season 1 on Prime. So yes, and I think I had originally pulled a Prime sticker from Carly Plans, and like I think because I pulled it in like dark lighting, so it looked like it was like a pink color, but it actually wasn't. It was like a yellowy color, and I was like, oh, why did I pick this? But I think that's what it was like I did it in low lighting, so I couldn't really see the colors of the sheet very well. So then I did have to like run back, grab my sticker book, and then grab the stickers that I needed. But yeah, so if there is any pauses, that is what I had to do. I think I did that another part in this spread as well, because I was like, I realized that I didn't have the sticker that I needed. But yes, because I did try to pre-pull where I could. It just makes it easier and I can sort of just like go with the flow. I also chose not to fill in my spread on camera. I don't know. I just didn't feel like it for this. I did do it in my January spread, and I just felt like, one, the pressure of writing on camera, and then two, like it just took a while and it like kind of took me out of the groove. So yeah, I don't know. But yes, so then on the 10th, I marked in the new moon. So I used the little moon sticker that I made and the new moon script. And then I also marked in that it was Lunar New Year. So I just used a box from the kit and then the Lunar New Year script that I made for myself on that little sampler sheet. And these are the same size scripts that I use in my weekly spreads as well. I just like copied and pasted it from the template into my little sampler template. But yeah. And then moving on to I can't remember if I messed this up again, because like I'm pretty sure I messed up like almost every week putting Monday's plans on Sunday. So I want to see if I did that or not. I like can't remember looking back on it. But I think I might have been okay. Let's see what I end up doing, because I actually don't remember what I ended up doing. I didn't actually speed this video up that much, so apologies as well if it's a little slow. Yeah, I think I did. I put Monday's plans on the Sunday again, so technically that was for Monday, but I received Happy Mail from Planner Face, and then once I realized this, I do pull it up because I was like, wait a minute, again, these numbers aren't matching. So yeah, like give me a second and I'll notice it. And I just get like super annoyed with myself because I'm like, how did I do this again? And I've continued to do this throughout the spread because I realized that like it just doesn't match up with what I've written down. So give me a moment and I will work it out. But yes. And then I marked in my health insurance and that 10 had his solo album. So 10 is a member of NCT and Wavy. And he had his first like solo release, like, well, not first solo release, but first solo album, because he did, I think he did 1 or 2 like solo songs for like the NCT Empathy era, I think, or like whatever it was. But yes, really enjoyed the album. So I was super excited about that. So I used the sticker from Marshmallow Studio. I have to remember what, I think it's Sheila, I think is the name of the character, because she's got a few different characters in her shop. And then I just marked in on the Sunday, the 11th, that I cut some stickers with a sticker from Starlight Paper Studio, which is no longer in her shop, but that is where I had originally bought it from. And then I marked in Valentine's Day, again, using a script that I made. So yes, like I said, this video was a bit of a hot mess and I was just so annoyed when I was filming it. And at some point I was like, nah, I'm just going to scrap this and just like not post it and just, you know, I don't know. It was just a hot mess. But what have we learned from this? Don't film at night, because, or like if I'm going to film at night, film when I'm like, I don't know, like in the zone, if that makes sense, like concentrated, because I was just like super frazzled and probably a little wired from the fact that I like walked 5Ks and I was like, you know, on a high, shall we say. And so, yeah, I just like was not in the zone. And then probably part of me was also like rushing this because I was like, I want to get it done and like out of the way. So I have one less video that I need to do, because I have a whole stack of videos that I need to do to catch up. And it's just, I don't know. I think maybe that's what it was. But anyways, so then on the 15th, I marked that Onu had his solo. So he's a member of Astro and he had his solo album, which was really good as well. So I used the podcast girl from Fox and Cactus for that. And then I also marked in getting a new Chromecast, because I think I mentioned this in one of my plan with me's, but basically like our Chromecast wasn't working. And so like, I was like, okay, well, I'll get a new one, because like the one that we had was old anyways. So I was like, I'll get a new one and then it'll be fine. I go to like set it all up, and then I realized that the only problem was that like the original one wasn't plugged in properly, that somehow it had like gotten unplugged when we pushed the TV forward or something. I don't know. It was like, oh my God, I was so frustrated because it was such a simple fix too. And I had just spent money on a new one, and I was like, okay, fine. We'll just keep the new one and I'll keep the old one and like, you know, use it if I ever need to use it. But it's actually nice because like the new one has got like the whole Google TV stuff like built in. So we don't have a smart TV. So it sort of like turns your TV into a smart TV. So it just, I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of funny. So yes, I also marked in having a pizza night. So that sticker was from Paper K. And then again, I'm marking Monday's plans on Sunday. So again, that is the theme of this spread. It's just me messing that up, but I will fix that. And I don't know if maybe like my solution to this is changing what I use for my like monthly pre-planning, because I am currently using a hemlock and oak printable like file. Like it's like the PDF file, I guess, for like the printable, but I just use it on Photoshop and do all my pre-planning, like all my, yeah, like digital planning, I guess, there. And because like I said, it is Monday start for the weeklies and the monthlies, which makes sense in my brain because that's like how we do it here in Australia. But all of the like American planners and whatnot do Sunday start for the monthlies. So I don't know, maybe that's just something I need to switch. Like maybe I'll find like a, I don't know, monthly calendar or something that Sunday start to do purely my like monthly spread planning, and then that way I don't make this mistake. Or maybe, like I said, it was just because I filmed at night. It was the first time I filmed in a while. I don't know. So we'll see how we go. Because yeah, I do have my like March and April already pre-planned. So maybe when I go to sit down those spreads, it won't be such a hot mess. We'll see how we go. But yes, so on the Sunday, I requested my US box, and then the 19th, I marked in the beginning of Pisces season, so that script I made myself. And 𝚑𝚑𝚘 had their comeback, which it was like a 4-song mini album or something like that. It was ridiculous. But it was still like, it was, I don't know. It was one of those things where it's like, I wasn't obsessed with it, but it was like, I don't mind it. So yes, I marked that in. And then I also just marked in my Canva Pro subscription. And then I put another decorative box to cover up the day that I didn't do anything. And then the 21st was another payday. And then yu-gi-oh had his second solo album, which I really, really loved. I loved his first solo release, and his second one was just as good. So I really enjoyed that. This week was actually like a very heavy like K-pop release week, because there was, I think, 4 different releases. And so I was like very into the groove with listening to new music. So that was exciting. So I used another sticker from the Style Planner for marking my music releases. And then on the 22nd, I marked in my Spotify premium subscription. Again, just using another label and a money sign from the kit. And then this day, 𝚑𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚡 had their comeback, which was super exciting because I think it was 4 of the members are back from military service, and then 1 member is still there. So yeah, it was super exciting, and I really enjoyed their release. And then I'm not too sure when 𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚎's service ends, but hopefully when it does, like we get more music of like all 5 of them together, because that's, you know, yeah, I don't know. It was really nice to see them back though, because I think they did all try to go like all together so that they could go back to like releasing music and whatnot as a group, sort of similar to what BTS has done recently as well. So yeah. And then TWICE had their comeback on the Friday, which I enjoyed as well. I tend to enjoy their music. So yes, so I used the emoji from the 𝚜𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚙𝚜 Co for the Thursday, and then the AirPods sticker from 𝚑𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚡 for TWICE's comeback. So yeah, like I said, it was a K-pop heavy week. And then I just marked in the full moon. So this was a full moon in Virgo, I believe, is what I put there. And I did also just add in my Hello February script for the 1st, which again is kind of redundant because this is a February monthly spread. Obviously I know that it's February, but I have those scripts, so I just thought I would, you know, put them in there for fun. Yes, and then I'm trying to see if I do this correctly this time. I think I do actually do this correctly, because I had written like that I needed a pattern box. So I'm pretty sure I do this correctly. Yes. Here we go, success. It took the whole video for me to finally learn how to mark down Sunday on Sunday, but we got there. So yes, and then on the 26th, I had quite a big Happy Mail day. So I received my US box. I received some Happy Mail from the Coffee Monsters Co. and also some Happy Mail from Planner Choco. So I used the like Mr. Postman sticker from Fox and Pip, which I love that for like big Happy Mail days. And then this day we also had some more K-pop. So Taeyong had his second solo album, which was really good. And Gravity had a comeback, and I loved it. So yes. So I used the Dot the Bear from Paper K for that. And then 27th, I didn't do anything. So I just added some deco, I believe. Because I think I messed this up. I think I was like supposed to put deco, and then I started putting Wednesday's plans on Tuesday. Like when I tell you, this video was a hot mess. And I think I ended up turning my camera off as well, because I got like annoyed with myself, I think, at some point. Well, I don't know. I did something. But yeah, apologies for this pause, because I think I was like trying to work out what I was doing. But here I marked in, like I said, Wednesday's plans. So NCT Wish had their debut, which NCT Wish is like the Japanese subunit and like the final subunit that SM said we're getting. So yeah, they had their debut, which was really good. It was just a single album, I believe, but they had both songs in Korean and Japanese, and they're having a comeback soon, I believe. I think in June at some point. So it'll be interesting to see what that sounds like. I had a doctor's appointment because I was having issues with my period, so I wanted to talk to my doctor about that and, you know, see what we could do about it, which eventually my period did come back. So I don't know what it was, if it was like just stress or what, because like all my blood work was fine too. And it was one of those like frustrating things where it was like, okay, if everything's normal, like why isn't this happening? But yeah, eventually like in March, I had like a very light period. And then in April, I had like my proper period. So yes, hopefully my period is supposed to come in a couple of days. So we'll see if that still rings true. And then I did have a hair appointment to get my hair re-dyed. So I did use another icon for that. And then here you'll see me move all of the stuff around because I realized that I put everything on the wrong days. And then for the 29th, Mum and I went to see Dune Part 2, which was so good. Like I liked it more than the first part, and like I liked the first part, but like the second part was just chef's kiss. So I used that movie marquee, which is from Planner Face. These kits do come with movie marquees, but they're very small, and I have big handwriting, so I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to like squeeze my handwriting in. And then I also just marked in that my yoga membership build that day, which we've been really bad at like going to yoga, but we're still sort of keeping the membership because, you know, we do want to go. It's sort of just like trying to work it around our schedule and whatnot. So yeah, and then I did just add in that one last decorative box to cover the days, not in the month. And then I'm just adding in some deco. And I think I add some deco on my notes page spread as well, possibly. No, okay, maybe I did that off camera. But here is what the finished spread looks like. So as always, I used my Uniball Signo in 0.7. And then to write on the pen, I just used this ballpoint that I got from Typo. And I think here I was filling something in that I did not fill in, or I was fixing it because I didn't like how I wrote it. But yeah, here is the finished spread all filled out. I do really, really like how it turned out. February was like a busy month, but like also not a busy month. Like it was just, you know, a lot of like K-pop releases and things like that. And then here is what my notes page looks like. And then I did also add in the little dashboard, which I did trim because I did want to keep that like February. And also I'm in a Happy Planner size planner, so the pages are slightly bigger. But yeah, so here are my spreads for February. So this was the last few days of January, beginning of February, using waves from Sadie Stickers. This was my Lunar New Year spread, which I do have a video for on my channel, and I love how this spread turned out. Like, I just love it. And this is in Sparkly Champagne Lights. So that's really exciting. And then my Valentine spread, which was Whimsical Plans and Kristen's Planner foil in Coral. Again, I have a video for that spread. I do really, really love that. And then the final spread in February, which I didn't film, but I had originally intended to. This was the ice cream shop kit from 𝚜𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚡 Co with some Pixie Holo foil from Planner Hannah. So I do have spreads on Instagram with all the shop's tags. You can have a better look at all those. And then, like I said, videos for the spreads that I have videos for. But yeah, that is it for this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.